Well, this is the end. It's crazy to think we've now gone through 16 full weeks of working. And now, the results that you have reached and will continue to reach, it's all dependent on you. As you know, at this point, we started working together on learning what macros are, calories, weight training, mental strength, grit, so many other things. And we've also learned and practiced the skills so that we could understand how to count those macros, balance kind of life, vacations, holidays, eating out, different things like that. But even if you know and understand it all, the success you see really does come down to your own ability to follow through with what you know and what you want. As an example, let's say we set your calories at 2,000 a day, but you had a lot going on. You're only able to get in, let's say, 1,800 counted, and then went off the rails most nights with treats or fun food. You would still have seen changes due to being clean most of the day, but the difference that you would see if you were actually following the plan perfectly is huge. And now the question you might have right now is, why am I bringing this up, right? We're at the very end. Well, because even though we're done with the program, this is only the start for you. If you feel like you could have done better throughout this program, great. We now know what to work on from here on out. If you did exactly what we spoke about, then great. You had a lot of results, and now we just want to continue to build on those moving forward. This week, I want you to really think about where you are now, if you're happy with where you are, or maybe there's further that you want to still reach. But all in all, you really need to think about the why of what you were doing and why you did it. When we first started working together, we had a long conversation of the why behind what you wanted. And the whys can vary a lot. Some clients I've worked with simply wanted more confidence, want to feel a little bit better about themselves. They don't love how they look and they want that confidence. Other clients I've worked with, their whys are tied to their children, their grandchildren, fear of health issues associated with being out of shape or overweight. And others have dreams and goals of just reaching their potential physically, right? Whether it's competing in a sport or just looking the best that they can. No matter what your why was, we need to keep that in mind moving forward. Do not let all of the time and effort that you have put in up until now go to the side. We need to keep focusing on keeping our goals in mind, setting up our lifestyle in a way that you can either keep progressing or at the very least maintain. Now, I have talked in depth about my own ups and downs in the fitness industry, right? Losing weight, gaining it back, losing again, all just to gain it all back. My goal here is to have as many of you, the clients that I've worked with, learn what they need so that they can maintain whatever it is that we've worked on, whether that's weight loss, muscle gain, strength. I love helping people reach their goals. And the only sad part of doing this is that when afterwards, some people go back to their old habits and lose that progress that was made. So this video, I really want to talk a little bit about things that we should keep in mind so that we can maintain this as well as possible, if not even improve upon what we've already achieved. Okay, so the first thing I want to discuss, food. It tastes really good. And this can be one of the biggest things that kind of screws us up after reaching our goals. We go for so long dieting hard and eating food that isn't, not as focused on flavor. Doesn't mean it's gross, chicken breast is not going to be as good as a Big Mac, right? And so once we reach our goal, we sometimes say to ourselves, well, maybe we deserve, this treat this day or this week. And like we discussed last week, having fun with food is not bad. Having holidays, eating out, having fun desserts, this is not bad, so long as we do it in moderation. Often social media and the people who teach a lot about nutrition state that those who struggle with weight are quote unquote mentally weaker or just don't have the determination. Is that really true? Not at all. Those things can affect us, but as humans, for the vast majority of the time the human species has been around, the entire focus was to eat as much as possible and store up fat. And we have never in all human history been in a situation where we have so much food available, and even more so, food that was really, really good. We have many aspects that make it really hard to stay on track. And we need to understand that we have things stacked up against us, because the knowledge of understanding this is what will help us stay where we want to be. Understanding that this is something that we have to keep under wraps, this is the key. So to move forward from here, You need to find a balance of lifestyle that helps you maintain a good, healthy physique, keeps you confident while still enjoying your life. And this balance will be different for everyone. Some may be happy with a physique that only requires, let's say a couple days a week in the gym, some active walking, eating good clean meals for most days. For others, like myself, I maintain a strict meal plan year round, daily cardio, 5 or 6 days of weight training each week, but that's for my goals. And we will do one last check-in at the end of this program. And I want you to think about where you are now and where you want to be in a year, because we need to determine what your goals moving forward are going to be so that you can be as successful as possible post-program. Do you want to improve even more? Do you love where you're at and want to stay right there? Did this experience help you? You really need to think through these. So let's talk through them and set you up for success kind of moving forward. Now, the last thing we will discuss in this final video is the habits that we have worked on setting up through this program. There have been a lot of habits that we have worked on and prioritized, but there is, of course, some that are more important, or at least a higher priority. So from my perspective as a coach, these are the main habits that I very strongly suggest you maintain. Again, all these habits are important, but I also understand that life is busy. Work, family, hobbies. Sometimes it's not going to be feasible to maintain all of these habits long term. So the following are the ones that will give you the most, quote unquote, bang for your buck, right? These are the small number of them that are going to do the most positive impact towards maintaining or improving on your goals. So just 3. First one, counting calories. 2, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And 3, weight training every week. Now, I only gave 3 here because I truly think that no matter how busy you are, no matter how much you have going on, these are doable for everyone in every situation. Might take sacrifice, but they are doable. And these 3 things will ensure that you're able to continue to improve, or at the very least, maintain, if you're consistent with them. Now, if you continue to count calories daily, I'm not even saying that you need to be perfect on these, right? For a maintenance type of phase, you have some leeway. For example, if your maintenance calories are 2,500, just an example, there could be some days where you're a bit high, a bit low, maybe even a day or two through the week where you're completely off plan. But if you consistently get close to this number as often as possible, then you're setting yourself up for success. And even if you notice that the scale starts moving in the wrong direction, if you're close to maintaining those most days, it doesn't take that much time to just reel it back a little bit, like, oh, looks like I've gained a little bit of weight. I'm going to reel it back for a couple weeks, go down to 2,400, just let it kind of maintain. So again, once you are counting calories daily, it gives you the knowledge of what you need to continue to progress, as well as data of what is happening in the body. 2, the 1 gram of protein per pound. This one, I do not need to go in that much depth. You have heard me go on and on about the importance of protein, but this one is very important. Make sure you do not ever let your protein numbers drop, at least not too much. So very important in long-term health is you maintain as much muscle mass as you can. Eating higher protein is the biggest tip that I have for that, though of course number 3 is also part of that, weight training. Now, with weight training, there are many things that this does to help you maintain where you're at or improve. The amount of that will depend on how often you go and the intensity that you have. Right? Maybe you can only make it to the gym 2 or 3 times a week realistically. And if that's what you can do, then do it. But it is important to maintain and build as much muscle as you can for long-term health, staying lean, feeling good, and many, many other reasons. For this video, I'm going to leave it here. There are other tips, right, that are going to be helpful. We can go more in depth specific to your goals, but these 3 tips are important to focus on. And of course, if you have the time and want to use the other habits, I encourage you to maintain those as well. But at least those 3 are going to be the most important to be able to maintain where you're at or improve. Now, after this, we have a few options. We can simply be done with the program and kind of move on. If you would like more direction and assistance with the macro numbers or workouts, we can move to a month-to-month plan. From here, it is totally up to you. Let's jump into it in our call, kind of talk about what those options are and what's going to be best for you. But honestly, I'm just excited for the future. It's been amazing working with you, getting to know you. Thank you for trusting me with this process. Excited to continue working together, even if it's just as friends. Have a great rest of your day. And even though it's right smack dab in the middle of summer, Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah.